Welcome everyone to Season 13 and Talk. Tuba Samurai on with you. Going to be taking a look in at the Tuba Samurai Casual League team. We'll also talk a little bit about the Canada Defenders. And new this season, taking a look in at the Cobra Kai in South America Pro League. All that coming your way next. Get in on the action. Goal Line Blitz is a web-based American football MMORPG. They've written a custom football simulation engine to provide you with the ultimate football experience on the web. Do you love fantasy football? Ever wish you could play with the pros? Join other football fans from around the world in building the player and team of your dreams right here. That's GoalLineBlitz.com. Get in on the action. Hello everyone, welcome into Talk, and we've got Season 13 well underway at GoalLineBlitz.com. And right now, looking in at the Canada Defenders. Of course, Canada Defenders are rebooted this season, and on Talk this season we will have some interviews. We'll be looking at the future for the Canada Defenders, but right now they're pretty much getting blown out every week as we take the time to build our players up and get them ready for the future. Right now, let's take a look in at the Tuba Samurai in Casual League Camp 42, number 3, and Tuba Samurai off to a, I guess you'd call it their normal. They're 5-0 this season, 4-0 in the conference, and they've been blowing people out since the start and doing very well this season. And we'll look at their stats right now. They're number 3 in the conference in passing yards, number 1 in completion percentage, number 1 in yards per attempt, number 1 in pass touchdowns. Receiving, they're number 3 for yards, number 2 for reception average, number 1 for yards after catch, number 3 for fewest drops. In rushing, they're number 2 in yards, number 4 in touchdowns. Blocking, they've got the number 1 fewest hurries allowed, also number 1 in pancakes. On defense, the Samurai are tied for number 1 with fewest missed tackles, number 4 in hurries, number 1 in sacks, number 1 in sack yards, number 1 in forced fumbles, number 1 in fumble recoveries for a defense. I think there's a junky offense team that's actually number 1, but we'll call them number 1. And number 1 in fumble return for touchdowns. In kicking, we're number 1, tied for first with field goal percentage at 100%. Number 3 in punt average. For the team, we're number 1 in points scored, tied for first in fewest points allowed, and we have the second highest touchdown total, and that's the Tuba Samurai, and they've got a couple of tough games coming up this week, playing the Disco Sumos tomorrow. We've got the Firm on the 23rd. Ocean Pacific Predators of the Abyss will be the team we play on Christmas Day, and then the Mini Masterminds. That's a few of the games coming up for the Tuba Samurai. Right now, we'll take another quick break, and when we come back, we'll look in at the Cobra Kai. Are you tired of spending hour upon hour setting up your AI only to get beat by 255 points? Well, don't worry about that anymore. Come over to the Casual Leagues. GoalLineBlitz.com has Casual Leagues set up from the 13 caps all the way up to uncapped Casual Leagues. Don't scream at your monitor all day anymore. Pit your dot against other dots in a fair match in the Casual Leagues at GoalLineBlitz.com. Have you always watched football going, man, I wish I was the coach, I'd do things differently? Well, now you've got your chance with Goal Line Blitz. You can be the owner, the coach, whatever you want to be. Manage every aspect of a football game. Set ticket and concession prices. Improve your stadium. Sign, cut, and trade players. Get game-by-game strategy and play to win the league championship. You can watch your strategies played out in real time and pause the action at any point. Log on right now to GoalLineBlitz.com and be the man. Welcome back into Talk. This week we're taking a look in at the Cobra Kai. It's a new segment we've got this season for Talk. I'll be following the Cobra Kai all season long in the South America Pro League. And the Kai off to a strong start. They are 4-0 in the SAPL. They've got number 1 for points scored, 389. They've only had 19 points scored against them and doing very well. For stats, they're number 1 in the league for passing yards, number 1 in yards per completion, number 2 in touchdowns. For receiving, they're number 1 for yards after the catch. On their defense, they've got tied for number 3 for the fewest pass touchdowns allowed with 1. For the rushing defense, they're number 5 with 70 yards allowed in 4 games. Number 1, they're tied with that with 0 rushing touchdowns allowed. Tied for second for the fewest missed tackles. They're number 3 in hurries, number 2 in pass deflections. They're number 2 in interceptions, interception yards, and interception touchdowns. And they're tied for first for safeties as they have 1 safety. And this week they've got some good games coming up. The Cobra Kai do. Also, they've got a big scrimmage game coming up against the Chocolate Blaze. They got called out in the forums, and the Kai never wanted to back down. I'm the Scientist accepted a challenge from the Chocolate Blaze, who are in World League, and that game will be coming at you on the 22nd of December. Coming up this week, today they're playing the New York Mohawks, the Windy City Warriors on the 22nd, the Para Sharks on the 24th on Christmas Eve, and then the 26th, the Cartagena Cartel. That's a few of the games coming up for T-Baggins and the Cobra Kai in South America Pro League. Coming up next week, we're going to have some interviews for you, some in-depth discussion for suggestions and things going on with the changes with Goal Line Blitz. But that's going to do it for us today on Dot Talk. Everyone have a very Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays, and be safe out there. And remember to head to GoalLineBlitz.com and get in on the action.